Now we're removing the assumption that the lead time is always 2 days. Okay, we're coming back to the original model where the lead time is random. It could be 1 or 2 or 3 days. It's random, so we need to simulate it. So we need to create a VLOOKUP table. So first column is mean of bean. The second column is the actual lead time. So I'm going to copy the lead time here to here. Mean of bean for the first possible outcome is always 0. And another reminder, if you do not know how to simulate an uncertainty, or you do not know what I'm doing, check out this video. Second one is just equal to cumulative probability here. And this one just can drag down. Okay, just some formatting. So that's it. That's the table for VLOOKUP. Now I'm coming back to revise the model here. Any function, any cell that needs to consider order lead time will be affected. Okay, actually I can tell you there are 3 places that will be affected. First, here. Here we record the order quantity when lead time is 2. Okay, now we have another 2 coming in. Lead time can be 1 or 3. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, sorry, cut it and paste it here because I want to insert another one called lead time 1. Okay, just some formatting. I'm going to copy it here. Little formatting. Okay, and add another one called lead time 3. Okay. So how do I know if I have an order of lead time 1 placed on day 1? Well, I would know that if I say yes over here and the lead time is 1. Okay, so I can type in the formula here, but actually we have done that already over here. Okay, so we can actually reuse the formula over here. So I can copy this one and paste it here and just revise. Okay, so if this cell is yes and this cell says 1. Okay, likewise I can copy this formula and paste it here and just fix a reference and make sure this is 3. Lead time should be 3. Okay, so now I have these 3 cells ready. Okay, all of them check 2 things. First, if there's a yes here. Second, is the lead time equal to whatever their lead time is? So I can select them and copy them down. Okay, so this is the first place I need to change. The second place you need to check is here, order or not. For day 1, it's the same. You don't need to care about any outstanding order. But starting from day 2, there can be outstanding order. Okay, so we need to change the condition here. Look at the condition here. It checks for 2 things. First, if the ending inventory is lower or equal to 5. Second thing, if there's any outstanding order, okay, with lead time 2. But we need to check if there's any outstanding order with lead time 1 or 3 as well. So let's see, how can we check if there's any outstanding order with lead time 1? If you place an order on day 1, okay, that order will arrive in day 3. So that means on day 2, any order placed here is going to be en route. How do you tell if any order is en route with lead time 1? Well, that's quite simple. If there's 1, then this number is not going to be 0. In other words, if this cell is 0, then there's no order en route with lead time 1. But what about this? Okay, any order with is there any outstanding order with lead time 2? Well, if there's 1, they must be placed either on day 1 or even day 0, which doesn't exist. But we can actually consider that for now. That means sum of these two cells. Okay, imagine if there's day 0, then the sum of these two cells is 0, indicate that there's no outstanding order. There's no order with lead time 2 being placed in these 2 days. And we can actually do that because this LT2 in this cell is a text. So it's kind of like 0. It will be treated as 0. Also, we need to consider if there's any order with lead time 3 that is en route, that's outstanding. If there's none, then that means this cell is 0, this cell will be 0, and also this cell will be 0. I know these two cells now have characters, but there's a reason I'm going to do this right now. Okay, that will make my life slightly easier. If these 3 cells add up to 0, then that means all of them are 0, which means there's no order of lead time 3 being placed in those 3 days. Okay, and therefore no outstanding order. Okay, so in sum, when all this holds, order quantity is lower than reorder point, no order en route with lead time 1, no order en route with lead time 2, no order en route with lead time 3. Then that means there's no outstanding order. Then I'm going to place an order. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so I can now copy the formula. So why am I using sum of these 3 over here, especially in this cell, given that we don't have day 0 or even day -1. It's simply for convenience. Okay, it's simply for convenience. Because if I do so, then I can just drag down the cell to copy the formula without any problem. Okay, the other place you need to change, the third place you need to change is here, units received. Previously, I have 0 all the way to day 3. Okay, that's because previously we allow only for lead time of 2 days, so you will never receive anything on day 3. But now if you place an order on day 1 with lead time 1, then it will be received on day 3. So we need to change this. On day 3, what you will receive is simply whatever you place on day 1 with lead time 1. Okay, if you place anything here, you will receive them over here. And by the way, although we don't really place any order on day 1, you can see here as you actually place an order with 0 quantity. Okay, so that's day 3. Day 4, okay, so previously we have this. If you actually place an order on day 1 with lead time 2, you will receive it by day 4. But now if you place an order on day 2 with lead time 1, it will be received on day 4 as well. So that means you need to have one more cell here. Okay, so any number, any quantity placed here will be received on day 4. And you will never receive anything with lead time 3 that must be placed on like day 0, which is not possible. But now in day 5, okay, day 5, you can receive something from in day 5 if the order is placed first on day 3 with lead time 1 plus, or the order is from day 2 with lead time 2 or day 1 with lead time 3. Okay, so I'm adding up these 3 cells because any number, any order that is placed in these 3 cells will be received by day 5. Okay, so you can find that day 5 onward, the formula is the same, basically considering all the possible shipment into that day from the previous orders, all 3 lead times. So I'm going to drag it down, and here we go. Now the last thing I need to do is to change the lead time. It's not 2 anymore. I need to simulate it. So I need to use VLOOKUP here. VLOOKUp this random number, comma, the table here, fix a reference. Putting $sign to fix a reference. Again, if you don't know what I'm doing, check out this video. Column index is 2. This one is true. Okay. Now I can drag down and copy the formula. And here we go. 945 is actually 944.6 as we found previously. So that's the whole model.